I'm pretty much ready to go on my trip to the island, and I am not good at packing light. I had to be better at it when I went to California because I took the train, but I'm taking my little 1992 Toyota Corolla, so I have everything in the kitchen sink. I have my magical backpack, I have my little bit better camera, there's snacks in there, there's my Zap strap, there's my PRN, there's all my hearty nutritionals, very, very important stuff. And then I have some of the documents I want to bring. I'm bringing my Muse headband to see what it's like using it there, and all my toiletries. I would probably not bring my hair straightener if I didn't have space. I didn't bring it to California, but I kind of like straightening my hair and having it nice and smooth. And then towel and some boots and some hiking shoes, and I'm gonna wear my Toms, and a sleeping bag in case it's not warm enough. It's an older place and I don't want to be freezing and ask for a million blankets, so I want to be prepared. And food, bringing some protein powder, some rice, and my favorite sauces, but I'll try and get some veggies over there to go with it if I can, and more clothes, and 2 jackets because it might be cold and I'm going on that forest walk. So a lot of this is in order to avoid being cold. This jacket, that extra warm underlayer shirts and things. So yeah, hopefully next year this problem will be solved because I'll be going somewhere warm in the winter and not hanging around cold Canada. So maybe I'll go into more detail about what I packed when I get there, and I have more to talk about on the journey. I just took another dose of hearty nutritionals because this morning I could have barfed part of mine up. I took some haritaki powder with the coconut milk, and then I chased it with a gulp of smoothie, and I immediately felt so nauseous. And it might have been partly because of donating blood, but it could have just been that stuff made me feel a bit nauseous before, but not so nauseous that I thought I was going to barf. And I'm not a barfer at all. So I went to the washroom and I threw it all up. I threw up the Bita smoothie, I threw up the haritaki powder, and might have thrown up a little bit of my micronutrients. So yeah, good to know that that stuff makes me a bit nauseous. I might have to buy some capsules so then the taste doesn't hit my throat. I'm not sure. Or maybe my body just doesn't want to do a pineal cleanse right now. I'm not sure. There's the Womanic Mobile. That is a lot of stuff for 5 days. I'm off. So I made it to the ferry terminal. Now I have a little while to wait to get on the ferry, and it's a gorgeous day. Perfect temperature. And when I was driving, I was thinking about how it seems like my life has moved away from abstraction and more into action. And I was figuring I would eventually talk myself into that. Here I am taking a nice little weekend trip, 5-day trip. Again, not having to worry about being near a major hospital or anything like that. Yet I still have my Zap strap for safety. I can't remember if I showed this, but I actually shoved a Zap strap in a bottle with some of the PRNs. You can see the Zap strap there at the top, all coiled up, and then PRNs in the bottom. So this is an emergency case. I can just pop it open and have the Zap strap and PRNs if I need it. But that's really far. But that's really far away in my mind now since taking these micronutrients. And I've been thinking a little bit about business again because, Yesterday was a life-changing day. I went to an information session on a business class that I have access to because I'm on disability for having barriers to full-time employment. And it's really cool because one can self-identify as that and they don't ask questions. Even if they did ask questions, it would be easy to prove, because it's not just about disability, it's also about barrier. So blah blah blah. But the information session was really good, and I want to take the class starting in mid-November, and it goes for 10 weeks, and then there's 25 weeks or something of support with a business advisor, mentor person. So interestingly enough, I asked somebody at the clubhouse if there's any kind of business help, and then I went to the clubhouse the next time and saw the poster about this business stuff. So it seems like when I need some kind of help from the universe, it's there. So not surprised. So I feel like these next months, I do want to focus on seeing if I can create some kind of business out of my ideas. And so it's looking like I won't do the out-of-town full-time job at this point because I want to have the opportunity to see if I can create something. Some of the things that I've talked about all along, and I don't really know how to put it into a business, and this could be an opportunity to do that. So yesterday was life-changing. I'm going to work on the application for that program, and the program helps create a business plan. So that's really cool. I'm pretty excited about that. And I was thinking about the business and how the 10 weeks of that class ends pretty close to the time when it's 9 months for me on micronutrients only. So the launch of the business will be around that time, and then hopefully I'd be launching something regarding, well, you can transcend, you can thrive, you can go from survivor to thriver, you can design the life of your dreams. And I'm thinking of framing it around life coaching because I did do a course for that, and it's something that one can easily do. So I'm thinking about creating a more succinct course as part of the business, because in order to be approved for the course, the business course, one has to have some kind of thing that one wants to do and have it kind of ready to go. Ideas that are actionable. So from now until the time when the class starts, I will have to get that sort of stuff in order, and this will provide some motivation in order to do so. And I was also thinking about how these last weeks I've noticed that I can get, the word for it is triggered, quite a lot. But I don't really love the word trigger. I was thinking it's more that my allostatic load can build up really quickly because I'm hypersensitive. And being hypersensitive, something can get to me really quickly and easily depending on the time of day and other things that have happened. And it's up to me to diffuse that allostatic load by, say, going to the park or something like that, and not take that out on other people around me, even though it could be the other people around me watching noisy TV that is bothering me. Stuff like that. So abstraction to action, diffusing allostatic load, business, and I'm thinking about maybe partnering with some people who can do certain aspects and referring to them, because it's really about total wellness and wellness transformation and transforming from a mental patient to magic and manic mastery. So it's a total transformation. So I was thinking that I could create the course, release the course, and then share the backstory, which is all the little dialogues in the future. Because I was thinking about maybe it's not great to release something that is so anti-med system at this point. I don't know. I'm just talking to myself like usual. So I probably won't be doing much peer support. And another thing I want to do is see if I can influence the weather. I took a screenshot before I left, and I'm thinking that I want to change the weather so it's nicer while I'm there. Focusing on that now. And so while I'm on the ferry, I want to read the micronutrient studies, and I also want to look at the application for this business program thingamajiggy. So much to do now, but I feel really inspired to do so that's good. And again, I think that going from being a chronic mental patient to manic mastery also includes perhaps creating some kind of business so one has freedom in one's life, in one's epigenetic matrix. Because that's one thing I feel that's missing a little bit, is if we recover, I don't like that word, to recover back into mainstream structures, it's not really going with what that original blueprint was telling us to do. So it's not complete. So that's the part I want to work on.